Okay, I get it. I promise you this is my last Femke Bol video until next week when the Diamond League starts back up. But if you are tired of hearing about Femke Bol, then let me know in the bottom of the comment section. But if you like this athlete as I do, then go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe. Let us begin. The reason so many people, I think, are so intrigued with this athlete is that she clearly wins races, at least when she's not competing against Sydney McLaughlin in the 400-meter hurdles or the 4x400 meters, just to be clear, and Bol is relentlessly focused and disciplined. This 4x400 meter relay took place this past Saturday. By now you know who won this relay without me telling you or making this video. And I think I'll start coining women's track and field any given Sunday because surprises do happen and unpredictability sometimes comes out of nowhere from many places. It definitely helps to not make the sport boring at all. And a fun fact about this specific 400 meter relay is that in the last 6 championships, 6 different teams have won, where last year it was Poland and this year Poland came in second place. To summarize this event, the first leg was ran by Salberg Evelyn. She basically kept up with the pack. The second leg was Leaky Claver, who had enough stamina to run past Great Britain and Belgium in the last 400 meters. And Liziane Dwight, who also has a sister on the roster, fell a little behind, but not too far from the pack. And the last 200 meters, Femke Bol does what she does every time and muscles Great Britain and Belgium in the last 200 meters, which makes these events really spectacular to watch. And what's amazing about this race, if you did not know, is that Femke Bol is the youngest on this Netherlands roster at just 22 years old, and even the youngest compared to the second and third place roster. And by now, I would step out and call Femke Bol the face of European women's track and field at the moment, who has enough clout in this space. I think like Sydney, she'll be here for a while. And After News Delight, which is a YouTube channel that you should also follow, even said from her 300 meter hurdles performance earlier this year that she could run the 200 meters. And make sure you check out his channel if you have not done so. I find his content entertaining and animated, and I think that experience makes his coverage of track and field right now very engaging and brings in a fresh perspective. But going back to Femke, I would definitely like to see her run the 200 meters. I think her split in the 4x200 meters earlier this year was a low 23, which is not bad for a race that is not her specialty. But if she really focuses on improving this offseason, I could see Femke running a sub 23 consistently at the next indoor. I mean, again, the girl is only 22 years old, and if she is the face of women's track and field in Europe, then the world has something to be worried about going into the Olympics. And as much as I love our US team, you have to put this lady and her country in your back pocket. If this is how they are performing right now, and the Olympics is just 2 years from now, then well, she is basically getting prepped to run in a lot of events, which could possibly include the 200 meters. I honestly would not be surprised. Got to give credit where credit is due if and when that happens. I think Bol's coaches are able to see the amount of energy the young lady has compared to the other athletes, and based on her relentless work ethic, she does not stop. Almost reminds me of Abby Steiner's personality, but I want to give Steiner a break and some time to rest before I make that claim, as the girl has performed in over 55 races this year. But I think deep down, what keeps Bol going might be Sydney, quite honestly. I would say that Femke has that Michael Jordan-ish type of attitude. You know, that type of person that does not like to lose, wants to win for the team, and I can see it from how much determination she has in these races and on the track. It's like every time she runs with Sydney, she must be thinking deep down inside what she needs to do to win. And when they both run together, somehow Sydney ends up breaking records like she did in Eugene, Oregon. But I have to point out Dalilah Muhammad as well while I am talking about Sydney. Muhammad is 32 years old, and it might be that age is catching up to her on the hurdles. I don't know, but let me know what you guys think. Is age just a number in track and field? She still holds the 4th fastest time in the world, but it has dropped significantly since the 2021 Olympic Games that took place in Tokyo, Japan. But again, let me know what you think about Muhammad. Her time back then was an amazing 51.58, and her time in Eugene this summer was 53.13. I definitely think at this point that Dalilah should also focus on transitioning into the 400 meters, but I am not sure, given her age, if her mind and body would be able to adjust to that change right now. Her last recorded 400-meter dash that I could find was in Poland, where she ran an impressive 50.6, and that was in 2019. If I am able to make a future video on Dalilah, I will make sure to include her split time in the 4x400 meter relay because she has participated in those events as well, and I also want to be as fair as possible so I can then compare all these apples and oranges together. Other than that, my thoughts with Sydney is that I'd like to see her match up with Bol as far as running the 400 meters, as I think that would keep Sydney entertained for a while. And I really think Sydney can manage during both events. I believe all of that would look rather interesting. And I don't think either Sydney or Bol are done breaking records, which makes these events exciting to watch. However, one thing to also keep in mind is that Sydney recently got married. Yes, the big M. So you have to include that parenthood factor into the equation, and she is a devout follower of Jesus Christ. With that said, I would keep that scenario in mind if she puts track and field on the back burner, which would give Femke Bol the opportunity to shine. But that's also what makes the sport unpredictable yet exciting. And if Sydney decides to go the route of parenthood early, then good for her. I don't think one can compare parenthood and going to work just to win a medal. Regardless, we all have to understand that the US team is still pretty deep with talent as the Netherlands in case Sydney decides to leave early. I expect both Diggs and Wilson to run sub 50 at least in 33% of the races next year. I 100% know Abby Steiner will, based on her college track resume. That's a given. And if Sydney does decide to stay and run, then she can focus outside of the relay and concentrate on the hurdles and 400 meters. That way her legs remain fresh, but those are just my thoughts. But let me know what you guys think about Femke Bol, Sydney, or anyone discussed today. Next video coming soon on my end is Gina Lukenkemper and the ladies 4x100 meters, which will wrap up the European Championships on my end. Then I will post a Abby Steiner video followed by TT Terry going into the Diamond League because she is very underrated and not much is talked about her in the media. And then follow up with how the European Championships performed in terms of business and try to find articles that are in English, most likely from the UK. Have a great day. Hey you, feel free to watch any one of these playlists. Have a great day.